Check 1, 2. Test, test, test. Slap down a little intro. What's up, internet friends? It's your friendly neighborhood Ginger Ryan, and today I'm playing Dear Esther Landmark Edition, a game that I have in my Steam library. I don't know when I got it, I don't know why I got it, I don't know how I got it. I probably got it for free, though, at some point. So, let's see if we can beat it. Google tells me it takes about an hour to beat, and I have no idea what this game is, so let's see what it is. Hopefully it's a horror game, that'd be kind of cool. But let's see. Oh, we can add director's commentary, fancy. Looks like there's only 4 levels, good, great. Let's start with the lighthouse.
Dear Esther, the morning after I was washed ashore, salt in my ears, sand in my mouth, and the waves always at my ankles,
Salt
I felt
and
as
sand
though
in my
everything
butt.
had conspired to this one last shipwreck. I remembered nothing but water, stones in my belly and my shoes, threatening to drag me under to where only the most listless of creatures swim.
It was then I decided to drown myself again. What is happening? I can't see. I don't know. Come back. Oh. Okay, so he super duper hates that. Let's try it again. Let's go say hi to Cthulhu. Hello, Cthulhu. Are you down here somewhere? In the depths, sleeping? Having a slumber of madness in your mind palace. Come back. Okay, so that's what happens when you die. I get drowned. It doesn't look too bad. I think this is like 2012 or something like that. Looks alright. I have no idea what we're doing. It seems like we've had a bit of a shipwreck. And don't know. I guess we're just trying to leave, I suppose? Or are we looking for Esther? Or... Ooh, I got a flashlight. That's good. Kind of semi-horror movie. Do we have... Oh, there's our zoom. It's a good zoom. Seems like most of the buttons actually zoom. That's great. I'm gonna stick my hand right in there, see if we can find a key. Okay, we got stuff. Stuff and things. All pretty much dirty and gross. You guys think I'm reading anything? I'm not. I'm skipping right through that shit. Ooh. Okay. Somebody had a bit of a mental breakdown in here. What the fuck is... No idea what that means. Looks like kind of the periodic symbols. Periodic? That's the word I'm thinking of, right? Little shed. Lots of paint. Seem like they're big on painting here. I don't know why you'd need a lot of paint by the seaside, but that's alright. Let's stick with the down here for now. Is this as fast as I can walk? Because if it is, that's very upsetting. Yeah, a little, bit of a slow walk. Unless, like, are there controllers options that I'm unaware of? Edit keys and buttons. There is literally nothing other than zoom and walk. So, looks like we got a lot of walking and zooming. If I zoom in, then it's kind of like we're closer to where we're going. It's pretty. Sound design's not bad. I like the sky. It's very nice looking. I suppose I should be keeping an eye out, but doesn't seem like there's much. We got some fish traps, crab traps. Can I walk in this water too? It seems like once you hit a certain point in this water, you walk off a cliff and just immediately start drowning. Okay, so a sprint sure would be nice. This guy has no urgency. in his life, I guess. Like, he said it himself, like, as he was opening.
There was once talk of a wind farm out here, away from the rage and the intolerance of the masses.
Okay.
The sea, they said, is too rough for the turbines to stand. They clearly never came here to experience the becalming for themselves. Personally, I would have supported it. Turbines would be a fitting contemporary refuge for a hermit. The revolution and the permanence.
Okay, weirdo. Are you... am I a hermit? Are we, like... we're trying to get away from people? I wanted to walk up here just to see what it's all about. I'm starting to regret it just because there is no sprint, so... if there is nothing up here, that means it's going to take me about an hour just to turn right back around. There's the lighthouse, which seems so far away now. Oh, look at this. Higher path. Alright, well, I'm assuming we're going to that beacon. If I know anything about video games...
The
pretty
mount
flowers,
is
the
clearly
wind's
the focal
cool.
point of this landscape. It almost appears so well placed as to be artificial. I find myself easily slipping into the delusional state of ascribing purpose, deliberate motive to everything here. Was this island formed during the moment of impact? When we were torn loose from our moorings and the seatbelts cut motorway lanes into our chests and shoulders, did it first break surface then?
What year is this? He's referencing cars. It also sounds like he's suspicious of his reality a little bit, like maybe this might be a simulated reality, which it is.
When someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice,
a Skyrim
they
horse.
cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boats, and know to send aid, or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this, to keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
I have an infection, and I'm trying to get away from people, I think. I seem to be a bit of a loner. Hope I brought some bug spray, like tick season out here. Although it might be a little too windy for ticks, honestly.
I quote directly, a motley lot with little to recommend them. I have now spent 3 days in their company. That is, I fear, enough for any man not born amongst them. Despite their tedious inclination to quote scripture, they seem to me the most godforsaken of all the inhabitants of the Outer Isles. Indeed, in this case, the very gravity of that term, forsaken by God, seems to find its very apex. It appears to me that Donnelly, too, found those who wander this shoreline to be adrift from any chance of redemption. Did he include himself in that, I wonder?
I wonder. I'll do a quick audio check here real quick. Make sure we're sounding all right.
Redemption. Did he include himself in that, I wonder?
I wonder. Yeah, I think we're okay. Let us resume on our strange journey. A strange and very slow journey. I understand storytelling and all that, but
I met Paul.
This is just a
I made
walking
my own
simulator.
little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life.
Lovely. Let's go into this spooky
This
cave
hermit,
for some
this
reason.
seer, this distant historian of bones and old bread, where did he vanish to? Why? Asked the farmers. Why? Asked Jakobsen. Why bother with your visions at all, if you're just to throw your arms up at the cliff and let it close in behind you and seal you into the belly of the island, a museum shut to all but the most devoted?
Is this based off a book or something? Like, I will say, voice acting's very good. Narration's pretty well written. But what is this game? Where am I going? Yeah, they just love painting. Whoever was here. Is this a dead end? So I kind of have the feeling that it might be a dead end, and if that's the case, then that's kind of upsetting. What am I doing? What is my goal? We walked into the cave, saw nothing, and now we're outside the cave. Again. Music's kicking off. Maybe it wants me to double back on myself, go down this sort of path? I don't know. How mysterious. Surprised that Steam said that it would take about an hour to beat this game, but walking is just the absolute worst. Alright, there we go. Confirmed. There's another little path here. This must be the direction I need to go. So I can find Esther, or something. I don't know what I'm doing. We're shrouded in mystery. Water looks okay. I wonder if this is made in, like, Unity or something. It's decent assets.
He still maintains he wasn't drunk, but tired. I can't make the judgment or the distinction anymore. I was drunk when I landed here, and tired too. I walked up the cliff path in near darkness and camped in the bay where the trawler lies beached. It was only at dawn that I saw the bothy and decided to make my temporary lodgings there. I was expecting just the aerial and a transmitter stashed in a weatherproof box somewhere on the mount. It had an air of uneasy permanence to it. Like all the other buildings here, erosion seems to have evaded it completely.
That's strange. Erosion loves eroding things, usually. Okay, mysterious stones. Fun. Power stones. Cool. For a second, you could tell me that I'm playing Skyrim, and I might believe you. Looks a bit like Skyrim. Especially with all the, like, the flowers and stuff. The mountain flowers that you can use to make magic potions and health potions and stamina potions and shit. Early game. Regret walking to the cave. I mean, I guess it's nice in theory that we saw it, but it seems like I should just be heading towards this beacon. Man, if I was stranded on an island and the weather looked like this, which is mostly okay, but it's very windy for sure, and it's got to be a bit chilly. Like,
Dear
I'd be
Esther,
sprinting.
I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my Ordnance Survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turnoff for Sanford and the welcome break services, but although I can always see it in my rearview mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
What is he talking about? It sounds kind of like he's mixing... I mean, it could definitely be metaphor and symbology and all that, but, like, it really sounds like he's mixing several of his own thoughts together. Talking about taking the highway, but also pulling ashore. I get that that could obviously be a metaphor, but, like... Is this guy okay? It said that he had a disease that wasn't only affecting his body, but probably his mind as well. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What? I definitely just saw another person. Am I crazy? There was a shadow over there. walking along the cliffside for sure. Jeez, I'm gonna have to look back at that footage just to make sure that I'm not out of my mind. Okay, another crashed ship. I'm still trying to head towards that beacon, I assume. Bowie out there, David Bowie. So this is just, I guess, a walking simulator. It's alright. It's nice to look at. Sounds are good. It's definitely not thrilling.
There must be a hole in the
What
bottom
the
of
fuck?
the boat. How else could new hermits have arrived?
What is this? A weird rock. They circled it. And slapped an arrow painting here. Is it a directional arrow? Seems like a dead end. Oh, I guess I go around that way. God forbid I learn how to climb a small hill. Do with a little more sunshine out here. Come on, it's a very miserable island. I wonder if that loading screen means that I was moving on to the
I had
next
kidney
level.
stones, and you visited me in the hospital. After the operation, when I was still half submerged in anesthetic, your outline...
Sounds like she was killed by a drunk driver that we know. Like, maybe it was it sounds like maybe it might have been a friend of mine.
What charnel house lies at the foot of this abyss? How many dead shepherds could fill this hole?
I wish I could jump in there and find out without super duper dying. Is that a thing? I'm gonna risk it. Come back is what he's probably gonna say. Yep, great. And then, thankfully, they put me on the outside of the hole. That's very, very kind of you, dear Esther. I appreciate you doing that. Okay, so I think we're heading this way. I would be jogging. Bare minimum. You don't want to exert all your energy sprinting and whatnot, but like... Come on, dude, it's gonna be fucking nighttime too
I've
soon.
begun my ascent on the green slope of the western side. I've looked deep into the mountain from the shaft, and understood that I must go up and then find the way under. I will stash the last vestiges of my civilization in the stone walls and work deeper from there. I'm drawn by the aerial and the cliff edge. There is some form of rebirth waiting for me there.
This man is very strange. Did he come here intentionally? To, like, die or something? Where is everybody? Is this entire island abandoned? What is the deal? What's with all this mystery? Is Cthulhu here? That'd be kind of cool. Ugh, that beacon is
The
very
bothy
far
was
away.
constructed originally in the early 1700s.
Bothy.
By then, shepherding had formalized into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jakobsen, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders. He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it.
Huh.
There was no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him, either.
Wow, this is a really fun and funny game. It seems like it's all about dying. Also, that guy died from diseased goats. Were you bitten by a diseased goat? What was the situation that caused a goat to kill you? Alright, we got more paint. More weird symbols. This music's really kicking in.
When the oil lamps ran out, I didn't pick up a torch, but used the moonlight to read by. When I've pulled the last shreds of sense from it, I will throw Donnelly's book from the cliffs and perhaps myself with it. Maybe it will wash back up through the caves and erupt from the spring when the rain comes, making its return to the hermit's cave.
Ooh, that actually
perhaps it will be back on
made
the
me jump
table
for a
when I
second.
wake. I think I may have thrown it into the sea several times before.
I'm not a fan of reading, I guess. Throwing books into the sea. Alright, we had to go up to go down. That's what he was talking about, I guess. God, the beacon. It's miles away. Is that the
He
buoy
left
from
his
earlier?
body to the medical school and was duly opened out for a crowd of students 21 days after his passing. The report is included in my edition of his book. The syphilis had torn through his guts like a drunk driver, scrambling his organs like eggs on a plate. But enough definition remained for a cursory examination, and, as I suspected, they found clear evidence of kidney stones. He's likely to have spent the last years of his life in considerable pain. Perhaps this is the root of his laudanum habit. Although its use makes him an unreliable witness, I find myself increasingly drawn into his orbit.
This guy has a way with words, but he's very bad at decision-making when it comes to walking around things, because I'm pretty sure this is... Like, I could have gotten over this. I didn't have to walk all the way around this fucking thing to get here. Kidney stones, seemingly some sort of thematic element so far. That crow was a bit of a jump scare too, so it's like, is this a horror game? What is this game considered? I haven't even picked up a single item yet, nothing. This is very strange. It's not a game, it's an experience, is what I assume the game developer would have told me if I questioned what kind of game this is. Music. What is that sound? Someone's been lighting candles down here. That's strange. Who would light a single candle and just leave it right there? Of all the places. Hey, another giant hole. Whee! Oh, I guess I was supposed to go in this one.
Donnelly did not pass through the caves. From here on in, his guidance, unreliable as it is gone from me. I understand now that it is between the two of us, and whatever correspondence can be drawn from the wet rocks.
I gotta look up this game. I'm just interested in, like... I mean, it looks good, obviously. Especially this. This looks amazing. Like, this looks really good. I like this. Another candle. Should be very suspicious. Cave water. Very curious about this game. Looks good. Audio's solid. Narration is really great. Got away with words. So I'm like, is this a book? Or what was this before? What motivated somebody to put this game together? I'll have to do some research. Okay, crawling through another creepy cave. Again, this is straight up Skyrim, pretty much, it feels like. Yeah, hit me with that impactful music. So many mushrooms. Ooh. Very cool. Another lit candle. I think it wants me to go this way. Ooh. Colors are pretty nice, like greens and blues. Wow, look at that. I should come across this in real life. It's really cool. Down we go, I assume. Well, I can swim. Can I drown myself? Let's see. How long can we stay underwater? I don't think you can drown. Probably didn't really consider that very much. Oh, that was a nice little experience. I would be slipping and sliding, falling on my ass, climbing this the whole time. You're just walking on stone that's wet. Or maybe pick a couple of these mushrooms, pop them in your mouth, see what happens. I mean, it sounds like you're on your way to suicide or just dying of a disease, so we'll get wacky, experiment a little bit. Do some alchemy. I feel like I'm escaping Helgen right now. Like I'm about to run into a bear and some Nord guards. Empire guards, that's what I meant to say. Boy, it would really piss me off if I slipped off the side of this, fell back down, and had to walk all the way back up. Yet again, a candle managing to stay lit in such a damp environment. Who is lighting these candles? The guy's kept his mouth shut for a while. He hasn't said anything. He's going to eat one of these. If you eat these mushrooms, maybe you'll glow too. Bioluminescent, I believe is the big word. Alright, leave one cool cave, go to another massive one. Jeez.
In my final dream, I sat at peace with Jakobsen and watched the moon over the Sandford Junction. Goats grazed on the hard shoulder. A world gone to weed and redemption.
Weed?
He showed me his fever scars, and I mine. Between each shoulder, the nascency of flight.
Nascency? This guy's got a hell of a vocabulary. Then again, maybe some sort of formula? I'm not sure. I think this is a classic case of having an unreliable narrator. I don't know what's going on, but it's okay. What luck that this entire place is formed to have walking paths for humans. Thank goodness. These caves are perfectly designed for crawling around in. Ooh, look at this. It's like I'm in space. What even are these? Crystals? Assume I'm not going that way.
I will hold the hand you offered to me, from the summit down to this well, into the dark waters where the small flowers creep for the sun. Headlights are reflected in your retinas, moonlit in the shadow of the crematorium chimney.
Jeez, what a sentence. Let's see how deep this is. Oh, it's not very deep. But it is very creepy. Yet another candle. Should have brought a pickaxe down here. Could do some mining. Behold. Darnascus? It almost says, it looks like it says, behold Darnascus versus Planky. Or something, I have no idea. Oh my god. Okay, whoever was here previously has lost their fucking mind. Very cool paint though. I mean, I feel like I would need a black light to see any of this. I don't even have my flashlight out, but yet somehow it's not that dark. Away from being... See, like, I got most of it. What's that last word? Guilty? A city. Away from being a city, maybe. And it shall be a poisonous heap? I think? Like, boy, he's not a great painter. He could paint with a little more clarity. I don't know what you're what your message is here. Put this in your mouth, whatever that is. Cave level takes forever, especially when you can't sprint. Alright, got another pool of water, I see. Where's all this light coming from? Hey, Tree Star, what's up? Thank you for liking the video and joining me. We're playing Dear Esther, a weird indie game that you can't sprint in. In fact, you can only walk and zoom in your camera and swim and stuff. I have no idea what's going on. It's a bit of a mystery. I like it so far. The narration's good, the sound design's good, it looks nice. It's just a big sense of mystery. I don't know what's going on. Who am I? Why am I here? Why am I so comfortable being damp in caves? I certainly wouldn't be. Oh! I was gonna say, do you guys want me to really jump into that? And then I think I kind of like slipped in. Oh, looks like they did want me to go. Whoa, look at this. Wow. Is the whole world underwater? Oh, wow. This is really cool, actually. Theme-wise? What if I swim back up? Oh, now I'm just down here. I wanted to go check out those cars. Bummer. Well, that was still really cool. Nice little, flashback or delusion or something. Is it a horror game? I'm not sure. I've only had one jump scare moment so far, and that was when a crow flew by me for out of nowhere. But I don't think it's a horror game. I think it's kind of like one of those games that's like barely a game. It's more of an experience. to show off graphics and storytelling, I think. And, you know, if that's the case, it's really not so bad. I mean, look at these reflections. The lighting is really good for a game that came out probably 10 years ago, I think. It's really not too bad, and I think I got this for free. Like I said earlier in the stream, it should only take about an hour to beat, so I was like, let's do it. Let's see what this is all about. And honestly, it's good. There's not much to do, but it is, I do love the narration and the mystery behind it all. So now we're like in a uranium mine, I guess. Another candle, a couple candles lit. There's candles lit all over the place out there. Even though this seems like the most windy place on the planet, the moon looks really nice. Kicking some music. I'm not even sure where we're going. Are we trying to get to that radio beacon that we saw earlier?
The moon over the Sanford Junction, headlights in your retinas. Donnelly drove a grey hatchback without a bottom. All the creatures of the tarmac rose to sing to him. All manner of symbols crudely scrawled across the cliff face of my unrest. My life reduced to an electrical diagram. All my gulls have taken flight. They will no longer roost on these outcrops. The lure of the moon over the Sanford Junction is too strong.
So he's combining his narration with his thoughts from the past, which is pretty interesting, because it feels like he's talking about being on the island, while simultaneously he's talking about the car accident and stuff like that. Oh, here we go. This is like the first.
Begin to assemble our own version of the North Shore.
There we go. This is like the first thing I've seen other than candles
diagrams and hide them away for future
that
theologians
imply
to
other
use
people are
among
here.
them. We will send a letter to Esther Donnelly and demand her answer. We will mix the paint with ashes and tarmac and the glow from our infections. We will paint a moon over the Sanford Junction and blue lights falling like stars along the hard shoulder.
So, oh, it's like a defibrillator. There's hospital equipment out here. Yeah, this is very mysterious. I like it. I like the mystery. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know why I'm doing it. The guy seems a little out of his mind. I'm into it. Where are we heading to next? Oh, yeah, look at that. There's more cliff face drawings everywhere. There's that chalk lines you were talking about. God, the lighting on the, like, it changes the color of the water. Like, the reflections are even very good in this game. Yeah, not much to do, but it does look nice. Another painting, or a picture rather. Seems like a pretty nice place to visit. Maybe in the summer. It seems like a very monsoon kind of place. Like, we should, but if there was a sprint button, I'd be using it constantly, just out of fear of a massive storm approaching. Yeah, he really seems very fixated on this car accident. There's car parts that shouldn't be here that are here. Hospital equipment that shouldn't be here that's here. This guy must be having some sort of awful mental breakdown.
There were chemical stains on the tarmac, the leak of air conditioning, brake fluid and petrol. He kept sniffing at his fingers as he sat by the roadside, waiting as if he couldn't quite understand or recognize their smell. He said he'd been traveling back from a sales conference in Exeter. He'd stopped for farewell drinks earlier, but had kept a careful eye on his intake. You could hear the sirens above the idling traffic.
Light from heaven shone around. It kind of looks like it says hi. Maybe him. Interesting. So, I'm gathering we were in a car accident, or we witnessed a friend who was in a car accident that died. The guy who was drunk survived. Then we talked to him at some point, and he was riddled with guilt. And now we're here. Like, that's what I've put together so far. Am I the guy?
From
Maybe
here,
I'm the
I
drunk
can
driver.
see my armada. I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out along the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into boats.
Wow.
I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting, I set the fleet to sail. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic, and I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
That would be nice if he delivered that sink line, and then all of the boats sank, like, simultaneously. Wow, that's really sad. He wrote, like, a bunch of love letters to somebody. They died in a car accident due to drunk driving. And then he came here and took all his love letters that he never had a chance to give her and made them into little sailboats. Very depressing. What a hilarious... This is a comedy game, right? There's no sense in me going down there to check it out. There's the beacon. I don't think we're getting any closer, but we'll figure it out. On a sudden, a light from heaven shone around him, and he fell to the ground. And there's birds' eggs in here, and that's it. What the fuck? Okay. What a strange video game. If you're now just currently joining me, please drop a like on the video real quick. I'd really appreciate that. Alright, another long, slow walk. I guess it would probably screw up the whole timing and narration of this thing if there was a sprint button, because I could probably sprint from one narration to the other really quickly and it would kind of screw up the game. Yeah, I guess you don't have to run through life all the time. You can take a nice, incredibly slow walk. If that's what you're into. And like I said, now it's nighttime. It's only going to get darker.
The pain in my leg sent me blind for a few minutes as I struggled up the cliff path. I swallowed another handful of painkillers, and now I feel almost lucid. The island around me has retreated to a hazed distance, whilst the moon appears to have descended into my palm to guide me. I can see a thick black line of infection reaching for my heart from the waistband of my trousers. Through the fugue, it's all the world like the path I have cut from the lowlands towards the aerial.
I was right. There is another person on this island. Wonder if they're gonna disappear. I don't sound like I'm very healthy. I have an infection growing constantly. Hopefully I don't lose sight of this person. Stay where you are. Don't you dare move. Boy, I wish I could jump over this tiny fence. But that sounds silly. I'll go down here and lose track of where you are, probably. Or you'll vanish because you're a ghost person. Ooh. Some more music kicking in.
I've begun my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I've been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me. I can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fiber, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and carves parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together.
Very, very nice. Overlook, but our mysterious friend, of course, vanished. And as he was proceeding on his journey, another creepy sign. Seems like we're almost there. Just another long, slow walk. Out of all the, I played like 4 indie games today. this one is the slowest. It's gonna take the longest for me to beat or grow impatient with, but it's the best one so far, for sure. And war comes. Near to something. Okay, getting creepier by the second. Drink.
If only Donnelly had experienced this, he would have realized he was his own shoreline, as am I. Just as I am becoming this island, so he became his syphilis, retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection.
This is like Syphilis the video game. This is exactly what happens to people who have syphilis. They all get stranded on an island and... That sounds awful. The kidney stones aspect, at least. Slowly losing your mind, painting on cliff walls that probably no one will ever see.
The stones in my stomach will weigh me down and ensure my descent is true and straight. I will break through the fog of these godforsaken pills and achieve clarity. All my functions are clogged, all my veins are choked. If my leg doesn't rot off before I reach the summit, it will be a miracle. There are 21 connections in the circuit diagram of the anti-lock brakes. There are 21 species of gull inhabiting these islands. It is 21 miles between the Sandford Junction and the turn-off for home. All these things cannot, will not be a coincidence.
Okay, so he's big into numerology. The number 21. If I'd known that earlier, I might have kept an eye out for the number or something like that. But yeah, this guy's not having a very good time with life. Lost his girl and now he's lost his mind. Yeah, it sounds like he's soon gonna lose his leg too to syphilis, I guess. Or something. Kidney stones. I don't know what this infection is exactly. It sounds like syphilis. And it sounds like it might result in him killing himself. View distance and draw distance this game is very good. Looks pretty decent. Alright. We're almost there. This music is getting to me.
He was not drunk, Esther. He was not drunk at all. He had not drunk with Donnelly or spat Jakobsen back at the sea. He had not careered across the lost shores and terminal beaches of this nascent archipelago. He did not intend his bonnet to be crumpled like a spent tissue by the impact. His windscreen was not star-studded all over like a map of the heavens. His paintwork etched with circuit diagrams, strange fish to call the gulls away. The phosphorescence of the skid marks lighting the M5 all the way from Exeter to Damascus.
Damascus is that thing that I've been seeing written everywhere. Okay, so they're places. I thought it might have been some elder god. I would love to see Cthulhu just come out of the ocean off in the distance, though. That would be nice and spooky. Sounds like we might be coming to the end of our journey and our life. Yeah, good thing you got barbed wire fences up here. You wouldn't want anybody trespassing, what with all the humans around. Yeah, it's monsoon time. This storm is really kicking off.
I have run out of places to climb. I will abandon this body and take to the air.
Okay. Well, it sounds like we're abandoning our body.
Dear Esther, I have burnt my belongings, my books, this death certificate. Mine will be written all across this island. Who was Jakobsen? Who remembers him? Donnelly has written of him, but who was Donnelly? Who remembers him? I have painted, carved, hewn, scored into this space all that I could draw from him. There will be another to these shores to remember me. I will rise from the ocean like an island without bottom, come together like a stone, become an aerial, a beacon, that they will not forget you.
What a thrill.
We've always been drawn here. One day the gulls will return and nest in our bones and our history. I will look to my left and see Esther Donnelly flying beside me. I will look to my right and see Paul Jacobson flying beside me. They will leave white lines carved into the air to reach the mainland, where help will be sent.
Oh, literal ladder to nowhere. Whee! Well, I kind of got chills during that. His narration is very good. And the story is pretty decent, especially since there's so much mystery and symbolism and talking about the cliffs and the car accident simultaneously. This is solid. Is this the end? Oh, he's flying. Didn't even die. Don't try this at home, kids. If you jump off a cliffside, you're gonna make a big old mess. You will not fly. I'm like a bird, I got syphilis. Now I'm stuck on an island, and my Esther is dead. But baby, I would put the credits right here. Now fly out to sea, and let's see Cthulhu or something. Hey, real quick question. Why are we flying over the path that we already... I already walked this path. Why do we have to fly over it again? Are you going to take me down the cliffs too? I did just see the shadow of a seagull. So we did turn into a seagull. Or we died, and then our brain... This is what our brain is committing to for our afterlife. Gonna fade to black as we go out to the sea. Roll credits.
Come back.
Uh-huh. Now what? Hello? Oh, there we go. Rolling credits. So, hey, that was Dear Esther, a really decent hour-long experience. I really liked that. I wish I could make fun of it a little bit more, but honestly, like that felt pretty nice as a game that had exclusively walking. That was pretty much it. That really wasn't bad. Beat it in under an hour. Really great narration, really great mystery. Really pleased with that. I mean, obviously, I don't think I would ever play it again, but it seems like a one-time experience. But for that one-time experience, that wasn't so bad. I really enjoyed that. It seems like it was made in the Source engine. Cool. Can we skip the credits? We can. That's the evidence of a really great game, is that you can skip the credits. No offense, all the people that put this together. I got other stuff to do. More video games to play. Anyway, let's slap this on the old list of games that we have completed. Let's check out our library real quick. Where is it? Dear Esther. Add to games I've beaten. And then we're uninstalling that bad boy. Never to be played again. But hey, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my other videos. Ring the notification bell if you feel up to it. I'll probably do a couple more live streams today, trying to beat these indie games as quickly as I can. All right. Hey, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.